the banks of the Monongahela River here on Pittsburgh's historic South Side. Fans are streaming into Highmark Stadium at the start of a three-match homestand for Pittsburgh Riverhounds Soccer Club, taking on the visiting New York Red Bulls 2 for the first time this season. Two clubs coming off of big positive results last week, and as for the hometown Hounds, they're bullish about how they're playing, if you can pardon the pun, but results still needed as they try to overcome a so-so start. Last Saturday, a 5-0 win at Atlanta, but as you're about to see here in the USL Eastern Conference standings, Pittsburgh still technically out of the playoff picture, tied with Bethlehem Steel in points for that 10th place spot, but behind in wins. And as for Red Bulls 2, there you see second place, 1 point off the lead set by the Tampa Bay Rowdies. The Baby Bulls are on a three-match heater, capped by a 1-0 defeat of defending champ Louisville last week, but they've won just once in 4 trips all time here on the South Side. Well, alongside Paul Child, I'm Matt Geika, and Paul, New York coming in here, as I mentioned, feeling good about themselves. 8 goals in their past 3 matches, all of them wins. And, well, I mentioned already the upset of Louisville last week. This is a team, no matter who's in there, they play aggressive and they play attacking football.
Yeah, the Red Bulls always have done, Matt, too. You know, they really go forward and they attack the goal, and you can see they're breaking away here. And they've got numbers in there in case the goalkeeper saves it and somebody's going to follow up and put it away. So I expect a lot of goals for them.
As for Pittsburgh, well, not quite the goal-scoring prowess of Red Bulls, but hey, there's no shame in that. New York leads the East in tallies, but the Hounds coming off that big 5-0 win, as I mentioned, at Atlanta United 2, their biggest output in 4 years. And Steven Dos Santos, no surprise, Paul, it seems like when he scores, when he's contributing, Pittsburgh wins.
No, that's definitely true. It seems like he's the magic person to, once he gets on the scoreboard, then the goals seem to start coming. And he's playing up front with Nico, Brett, and they're starting to get it together a little bit now, so it's really good to see.
Well, last week, Brett scored from Dos Santos, and Dos Santos scored from Brett, so that forward combination will be back in action here tonight. Pittsburgh tries to build and construct a winning streak for the first time this season to get their second victory here at Highmark Stadium. Plenty to come, which should be an attacking night of soccer here on the South Side. Stay with us.
Okay, go ahead and stand up for me. Good. Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is just...
Now, if you get home and that's a little more tender.
Can I give you a hug? I can't believe it. I was in surgery this morning. Oh my gosh.
Call 412 Doctors to schedule an appointment at Allegheny Health Network.
The Riverhounds are back at Highmark Stadium next Saturday, June 29th, when the Birmingham Legion FC make their first visit to Pittsburgh for a 7 p.m. match. It's a celebration of Cultures Night, presented by the Pittsburgh Urban Magnet Project. Gates open at 5:30, dollar beers until kickoff. Find out more at riverhounds.com or call 412-865-GOAL.
I should have been a cowboy. Toby Keith and his That's Country Bro Tour 2019. Red Solo Cup. Friday, September 27th, 7:30 at Highmark Stadium. With special guests Clay Walker won't be long. And Gabby Barrett. Toby Keith. Whiskey for my man. On sale now with Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Trusky Entertainment. Toby Keith and his That's Country Bro Tour.
Explore a world of music on WQED.
Explore sweater sessions on WQED.
Explore educational opportunities.
Explore science.
Explore early childhood learning.
Explore Nebby on WQED.
Explore the power of the arts.
Explore Pittsburgh Eats.
Explore diversity on WQED.
It is a drop-dead gorgeous night for soccer, or really anything here in Pittsburgh. The first full day of summer brings the start of a 3-match homestand for Pittsburgh Riverhounds Soccer Club, taking on the red-hot Red Bulls, the Baby Bulls, if you will. And here are the starting 11 for manager John Wolyniec in his 5th season managing Red Bulls 2. And, well, an interesting thing about Red Bulls is, Paul, the transient nature of this roster. You see a couple of guys stepping in here in Ben Mines and Christian Cáceres Jr., who weren't with this team in the last couple of matches, but still just as dangerous as players like Stroud who lead this team in goals with 5.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this team has always got quality players, and they're going back and forth from the first team. So, you know, you've got good quality players coming in and out, and they've really got it organized well in that respect, Matt, with their players.
And Red Bulls, too, has always been the most consistent 2 squad here in USL Championship, a record of 30 games over 500 since joining this league. And as for the Hounds, coached by Bob Lilly in his 2nd season in Pittsburgh, he's lost just 7 times in 1.5 seasons here with the Hounds. Kyle Morton gets his 3rd consecutive start between the sticks, so he appears to be seizing command. Jordan Dover continues to be on international duty with Guyana in the Gold Cup, so Noah Frankie plays that right back spot. And the hometown boy, Robbie Burt, I hate to call him a boy, he's 22 years old now, so he's a man, and, well, he's playing like a man at this level. He has 5 points in his last 4 matches. He's been key, I think, to this attack looking better, too.
No, I think it is, and I think he's doing a lot of the work that Kevin Kerr used to do when he was playing in the midfield, but now Kevin's got a little bit of more of a free role, and Mertz is finding him, Forbes is finding him, and Kevin can create some chances for Brett.
Kevin Kerr is just 1 assist shy of taking over the all-time lead in the history of this franchise. Right now, he is standing at 25 assists in league play. So Kerr, Mr. Riverhound, I've called him that a few times in his 7th season with this club. Easily the longest tenured member of the team. It's a blackout night here in Pittsburgh. Fans were encouraged to don their black jerseys and shirts, and, well, the Hounds have obliged too. As here we go from Highmark Stadium. Pittsburgh in the black moving to the left. Red Bulls in the red moving to the right as Nico Brett gets a quick head on a long ball, but it's snatched up by Rashid Nuhu, the keeper for Red Bulls 2, 23-year-old from Ghana, making his first professional start here tonight.
That's a little bit of a pressure on the goalkeeper, but he got a quick touch right away at the beginning here, and Red Bulls getting a throw in, and right here at the in front of us.
Red Bulls 2 with a record of 9-3-2, but they've played just 4 matches on the road, has this squad. 2-1-1 on the road, but they haven't had too many tests away from MSU Soccer Park. So, of course, the Hounds have been really tough to beat here in Pittsburgh. They've lost just twice in regulation since Bob Lilly took over at the start of last season here on Pittsburgh's historic South Side. It's Steven Dos Santos, the reigning USL Player of the Week. Great ball here to Brett, but he's offside, stepping ahead. And I was thinking like you, Paul. I thought it was legal at first. Dos Santos seeking out his running mate up top.
Yeah, these two are really trying to combine now, it seems, Matt. They understand each other a lot better and read for each other and know when one has the ball, where to go.
Kevin Kerr on the high press, nearly took it away from Scarlett, one of the longer tenured members of the Baby Bulls. Now Caceres Jr. on the run here, and gave a shove to Adewale, it appeared, as Adewale chased down that ball. But head referee Lukas Spala says, play on, boys.
He's having a talk to him, which he should do. I mean, you know, that's a cheap shot, and giving him a shove when his ball's running out of bounds. But referee got a grip of it right away.
The 2 players I mentioned into the lineup here for the first time in a couple of matches, Caceres and Mines, both just 19 years old. The oldest player on the Red Bulls tonight in the starting 11 is 23. So that gives you an idea of what the Hounds are up against here. It's going to be a team that plays at a high pace. Adewale blocks that cross. A team that leads the league in shots, also right near the top in crosses.
It's also good to see, though, Matt, too, like these younger players really getting an opportunity to play, even though it's USL, but they're, you know, right in line there to get up into the MLS, and who knows where else.
Buckmaster's cross was deflected out by Toby Adewale, the 3rd-year Riverhound. First quarter of the game goes to the Red Bulls. And, well, yeah, this New York squad, they have a championship. They have a regular season title in the USL.
Yeah, they're really putting some pressure on right at the beginning of this game. I think...
Lema back post, glancing off of Scarlett. It'll trundle out on the Monongahela River side of the pitch, and actually a goal kick. A break for the Hounds. It deflects off the right side of the flag and gives Pittsburgh a chance to set things up for the starting keeper, Kyle Horton.
Yeah, we just played 3 minutes, but their goalkeeper had it one time, and ever since then they've been really pressing down here against the Hounds. Obviously, when you've won 3 games in a row as well, and you're feeling confident, and you know, you're going to do that kind of thing. So I think Hounds got to absorb that a little bit right now.
The Baby Bulls last week had plenty of shots against Louisville. Just got the 1 goal late from Matthias Jurgensen. But no Jurgensen tonight for New York. Seemingly it doesn't matter who they have in the lineup. They can still score. They've, well, had some players come in and out. Tom Barlow was lighting it up for a while. Then he went up with the big club. Currently, it's Jared Stroud, as I mentioned, 5 goals out of players currently on this team. He's the big striker, but there are plenty of options here as New York works it around to this near side. Buckmaster. More draft picks, by the way, as opposed to academy players on this team as opposed to years past for John Wallenick. So you have some college talent.
Yeah, they seem to be packing one side of this field here. They don't, not worried about getting switch a play or anything like that. They're just really making it tight, really tight for the Hounds. No space when they get the ball, and then when the Red Bulls get the ball, you can see everybody's marked up over here. It's just a lot of bodies the ball's going into, and ball's changing sides really quickly, as you can see.
The listed formation is a 4-2-2-2, so that would make sense if they are playing narrowly. Now into the box here comes Mines. Mines falling down under the pressure of Ryan James, and here's Greenspan trying to clear, but he can't get it past Buckmaster, who turns away. Now Dos Santos wins the ball and at least slugs it out to the edge of the attacking third. Scarlett, here's a switch of play now.
Yeah, finally.
Zayats heads it. Bunky is 0 for Pittsburgh. Gave it up to Jean-Christophe Kofi. To Caceres. Caceres gets it back on a bouncing ball, and now give it away to Buckmaster. Buckmaster right through. Blasted shot from Stroud, but Greenspan rejected it. Baby Bulls coming out strong, on fire.
Yeah, they're really putting some pressure on right from the beginning here and making it difficult for the Hounds to get out of their end of the field. And this will calm it down a little bit right now, 5 minutes in, but obviously intending to go right at us straight away.
Jared Stroud gave that one up, but number 50 making his 64th appearance for a Red Bulls reserve squad, if you will, either this one or the under-23 team. Lemma, another vet of this organization, tried a through ball there for Mines unsuccessfully. And here's Kyle Morton, who appears to have now an edge to get some more playing time. Ben Lundgaard, on loan from Columbus Crew, is back with Columbus during the international transfer window. So we won't be seeing Ben here in Pittsburgh for the next several weeks at least.
Yep.
And he had a back injury anyway, so it was really down to Morton and Austin Pack, who was signed last month. And Morton was retained last year, so we'll look for him to continue his good recent play. Had the clean sheet last week. Kevin Kerr gave that one up, and New York back on the attack.
Yeah, really did there. He
Lemma has his chance to move it up the pitch. Blocked by Bunky Azio, and he just clears it out to the river side of the pitch. 7th minute here in Pittsburgh. A reminder that Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world since 1947. The leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Go to selectsportamerica.com for products and special offers. Lemma dispossessed briefly, but now running on and putting it into the mix there was Kilwine, but it's taken away. So the Hounds collapsing and defending well.
Good job there by the defenders, because if that ball had slipped back, it was a wide open net for the Red Bulls there.
Pardon me, that was Caceres, not Kilwine. Kilwine, the defender, Caceres, the midfielder. And the tempo just stands out to me, Paul, so far for New York.
Yeah, sure.
Difficult to counter. I think if you're the Hounds, maybe you just try to absorb it and survive.
I think that's what they got to really do right now, Matt. They can't really, they're not going anywhere, so they need to just keep possession a little bit, make sure they don't make any silly mistakes, and kind of like weather the storm here and then get back into it. A little bit of space down this left-hand side finally, and there goes Nico Brett.
Brett running on, gets on the end of that ball from James.
That's a good ball there.
Back post, headed not all the way out. Dos Santos chasing it, runs right through.
Yeah, he's looking.
Kofi, and Kofi's looking for a foul call, not going to get it. Hound's going to throw on the far side.
A little bit surprised it didn't get a free kick there, but we'll take it.
Another cross in from Frankie. It was blocked down off ahead, but right back to James.
James got some room there too. It's a
James,
nice ball.
Challenging ball to the 6. Nodded clear by Kilwine, and helped out further by Caceres. And there's the foul against Bunky Azil of Pittsburgh. Tom Bunkiazil got a goal last week.
Yeah, that's good to see.
One of just 2 Hounds who played every minute of every match in the USL Championship regular season so far. He and Ryan James, the Iron Men to this point. Here in match number 12 out of 34. Second foul in succession whistled here in the midfield. Lucas Spala, the center referee. Ian McKay, Trevor Haddock are his assistants, and Taylor Bombalsk, the 4th official in front of us running the table.
Yeah, kind of slowed down a little bit right now after the first 8 minutes or so, and now getting some space between players and getting some room to do some things.
James sends one skyward. And right back to Morton, the 25-year-old from Philadelphia.
Good job by James there, just knowing that was on, taking the pressure off.
Ryan James leads this club with 12 starts, tied with a couple of other teammates. Also 34 interceptions. He's been really, really good in his first year in Pittsburgh. Signed from Nashville last season. Dos Santos takes the worst of that bump from Kilwine.
Yeah, 2 players sandwiched him there. He had nowhere to go. I was glad the referee was on top of that. Here's an opportunity right now. This would be a great time for Greenspan or one of the big guys getting up front.
By this time last week at Atlanta, Pittsburgh was already up 2-0, so we knew it was going to be a little more difficult here this week. But here's Brett with a strike deflected, and corner kick coming up.
Cell phone tonight, you can claim it at the team store.
Rashid Nuhu sprawling, trying to adjust to the change in direction on that shot.
Yeah, Bob Lilly here talking to Mertz, giving him some instruction. I think he's letting a player go, and he's supposed to be picking up and covering somebody.
Well, Forbes is going to take the corner while the lecture goes on. Bending ball outward, just outside the 6. Dos Santos couldn't get on top of it. Lob right back in by James. Hounds are offside.
Yeah, he must have come from an offside position there, because he was ball was in the air for a long time there too.
Well, Pittsburgh took advantage of some early Atlanta mistakes last week, but to get 5 goals for the first time since 2015, that's a big deal. It's the first time Pittsburgh's won by 5 since 2005. So that sort of scoreline does not happen very often in this sport or any league, as that fact will tell you. But the Hounds are looking for some confidence. And they played Columbus Crew of MLS to a 1-0 result, lost in the US Open Cup last week, but they're feeling pretty good about themselves as Mertz trips up. One of the Bulls, Zayats. Zayats, one of a few academy players on this Red Bulls 2 team. Now Buckmaster, the former Indiana Hoosier Buckmaster, headed over to the far side in Kilwine.
You can see right now, man, how it's opened up now all of a sudden. It's not kind of pressed into one side of the field or the other. They've got it opened up, giving players some chances.
Stroud has some room, but he stuffed the shot. And to your point, Paul, all of a sudden it changed.
Yeah.
And John Wallenick going with a different strategy there and trying to keep the Hounds off balance. And it looked like it opened up some space for Stroud, but he just couldn't quite square that shot up.
Yeah, really. So a little bit more settled now, the Hounds, actually, and getting some balls together and getting some combinations.
Brett, well-weighted ball to the captain, Canardo Forbes, Jamaican to Jamaican, and now laying it off. Over there is Noah Frankie, the Floridian, and not going to work there. Another offside play. So, well, Pittsburgh getting a little bit ahead of the last line of defense. That's the 3rd offside call already in the opening 13.
Yeah, Red Bulls push up really, really high and make it hard for the forwards to not get caught. By the time the Hounds have a passing lane, they've already come from an offside position and picked the ball up. So they're doing a good job in that respect.
Greenspan tracking back here, under pressure from Mines. Greenspan takes care of it with help from Morton. Morton was saying this week it took him a while to feel like himself. He missed the last 5 months of last season with the knee injury. He was rehabbing for a while, but practice reps, rehab reps, they only go so far. You got to get some game action. And he said mentally he started to feel like himself about a month ago, and he's looking more confident and sharper. Brett, well, he thought he was pulled down. Play continues on here. Greenspan keeps New York bottled in. Frankie, and he was taken out. Hounds trying to improve upon A home record that doesn't have a loss yet, 1-0-4, but not enough points for their liking, just 7. Gained here at home.
That's a great ball.
Incisive ball, Dos Santos, and there's the flag up again.
Yeah,
4 times offside.
Yeah, these guys are really, really pushing high, you know, they're getting outside the penalty box, and I think as the ball's going to be kicked, they're stepping up and catching players all the time.
Earlier action today in USL Championship, Bethlehem Steel falling to first place Tampa Bay 2-1. So that means the Hounds can move into a 9th place tie, pending other results, with a victory here tonight. Get them back in the playoff field for the first time this season, really. As Ryan James unable to bottle that one up and keep it in play.
Yeah, I think what's important to remember too, we've still got some games in hand too, Matt.
Right, 3 in hand on Bethlehem.
Yeah, definitely. So, but it's important. We've got to start getting some points too to start creeping up in the league.
This is the toughest opponent the Hounds will face on this homestand by standings. Here's a cross in by Lemma, and Horton snatches it right over the top of the head of Stroud, who was lurking. So many runners to deal with for New York. Not a very astute passing team,
nice
as here's
ball
Dos
there.
Santos with some supreme skill to pull that one down. And a square ball out to Frankie, crossing it in.
That's a great ball.
A little
there.
too far for Kerr, but can he corral it? Yes, he will. Hounds stay on the attack. Mertz, James, Ryan James, the wing back, and no one home on the backside for that ball that drifted on him.
Yeah, those floaty kind of passes into the box. It kind of hangs in the air for a while too, and you're going to see a replay of it here, I think. Oh, that was a great ball in there that somebody should have gone to the near post and got a touch on, but didn't do so.
This is Noah Frankie's 2nd consecutive start over there. And we said at the top, Jordan Dover remains away from the team on international duty. Congrats to him, by the way. Played against the U.S. the other night, the Gold Cup opener for Guyana. Jordan's born in Canada, but both parents born in Guyana. That's why he's able to play for that squad, which was making its Gold Cup debut. And a collision here on this near side. One of the Bulls down and writhing in pain. That's Cáceres. But the play continues to the far wing. And Forbes, surrounded by baby Bulls, gave it back to Greenspan. He tries one deep, but past Dos Santos' left shoulder. Cáceres is up.
Yeah, Cáceres was right by his own bench, and I think he was getting some yelling from his bench. Get up, you know, they're not going to call this. Get up and get it back into the game. And I think that's what made him get up pretty quick.
On that bench, John Wallenick running the show. I mentioned the only bench boss that Red Bulls 2 has ever known, and now 5 seasons. Deep one goes unretrieved by New York. He was actually the 7th overall pick, Paul, of the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, which is the predecessor of Red Bulls in Major League Soccer. And later redrafted by Chicago, made his way back to the Metro Stars. 62 goals in 267 pro appearances. Still just 42 years old. But he's making quite a coaching career to follow up a very fine playing career.
No, he's done very, very well with his team. That's where
Brett pressuring Buckmaster. Buckmaster in some trouble, and he gave it up and gave it out.
Yeah, that's where you need Brett to really pounce on those players and put them under pressure, and hopefully they'll cough up the ball, because that's his perfect setup there, where he gets into the box and scores from close range usually.
Through ball, no. Adewale heads that one off at the pass with Greenspan a little bit up the pitch. Stroud and Mines, they are keeping the Hounds on their toes. At the moment, 18th minute, kind of feels like an upset. The no goals are on the board. It's a high-paced match.
It's really not in a... Now the Red Bulls have really taken the foot off the gas a little bit, and kind of keeping it, trying to keep possession, and now giving it away a little bit more than they were in the beginning of the game.
James couldn't keep that one in, but brave play to go up against Buckmaster, who's a bit bigger than he is. James, if you were playing on New York, he'd be the elder statesman at 25 years old. But here he's right in the middle for the Hounds. Oldest player, 31, Kenardo Forbes. Kevin Kerr right behind at 30. Pittsburgh's not exactly an old team, but they feel like it against a team like this.
Yeah, I think all teams do, actually. There's not too many teams have this many young players on it.
Last year, of course, Pittsburgh took advantage of the inexperience of Atlanta United 2. The Hounds broke a 5-match winless streak in league with that win last week. Time to make some hay. 3 straight at home, 5 out of 6, 7 out of 9. This middle third is key. James will throw it negatively. And Adewale, the former George Washington Colonial. Beautiful ball across to Frankie. Forbes, who was so good against Columbus, gave the Hounds a fighting chance against the Crew a couple of weeks ago. James getting it from Mertz. James hesitates. Right back to Robbie Mertz, native of suburban Pittsburgh. Not his best ball there.
And I think Kerr wanted it to his feet. He didn't want a chip ball in there. He was wide open, and Mertz saw him, but he felt he had to chip it over the top for some reason.
Mertz leads the Hounds in points since he entered the lineup. Dos Santos nearly did what he did last week against Atlanta. Created a chance just by blocking a clear.
I think he's hard to read. He looks like he's really slow, but he has great big long legs. And there, he proved it. You know, he made a little bit of a burst and got his foot. And got a touch on that ball, and
this one won't stay in play. Right, Nuhu, the keeper,
yeah, of course,
little nonchalant, and it nearly cost him. Typically, the Bulls have gone with Evan Lora, the 23-year-old from New Jersey, formerly of the University of Michigan. He made 12 appearances coming into this match. Had a strong .706 save percentage as well, but tonight, working in Nuhu. And in fact, Lora didn't even make the trip. Miguel Silva's the backup. So the squad rotation in full effect for the visitors here tonight. James, meanwhile, the Hounds getting some consistency in their starting 11. Outside of Dover, this is basically the group they've run with in league matches recently.
Yeah, it is.
Scarlett. James read that one like a book, but fell down, tripped over his own man Mertz. And so Buckmaster retakes for the Bulls. Buckmaster meandering, laying it off, now trying to drag it through, but Adewale was strong there with the right foot. And now Kerr to Frankie, who looks upfield. Clipped off his boot. Hounds will get the throw.
A little bit surprised at Frankie there, because Frankie really likes to go forward. Usually that was an opportunity to just really take off with the ball and then commit maybe the defender towards him and then have a player behind the defender open for a pass. But maybe just not feeling the confidence right now. You know, it's his second game, and got to get really into it.
Just his second start, correct. He's played a sub role for the most part, but now getting an opportunity. And it's James. He's not afraid to go forward.
Oh,
Ryan James, a little too much air under that one, allows Nuhu to eventually corral.
Yeah, he should have took his time a little bit, took one more touch here and got a better ball, and then driven that ball across the box. Those floating balls are like picking cherries for a goalkeeper. You know, it's really easy.
Fans, you can follow the Riverhounds and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who've already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today, ESPNplus.com. I'm a happy subscriber. Incredible value there, I'll have to say. And it's great to be on ESPN Plus for the second straight season. Foul against the Hounds.
Yeah, Mertz had no choice. Player was taken off away from him and got away without getting a yellow card. Actually, he's lucky.
More than 20 minutes in on what might be the most gorgeous night of the year. Nice to not have to worry about storm clouds and all that. I hope we're through it. This week was miserable in Pittsburgh. Humid, cloudy.
I thought I was back
raining.
in England, to be honest with you. It was raining the whole time.
I'm a fan of England, but not that part of it. Lemma tried to get it through the wall, could not. Forbes blocked it, but here's Jean-Christophe Kofi to give it back. Kofi, native of the Ivory Coast, and here's Morton.
Good job.
Rising high to take it away from Scarlett, the back, who was right there in his face.
Good job by Morton there. Look, I mean, his size and presence there. He's got to, that's his area, Matt. He's got to take control of it, and that's good to see right away. Confidence, and your players around you know, hey, he's going to be there and win everything in the air like that.
That's what I think he was talking about when he said he didn't feel like himself earlier this year. He was a little slow coming off his line on those types of plays. Kerr Taking the volley from Forbes. Little Kevin Kerr do to the edge of the 18. Frankie sends it in. Oh my, it went right past Brett and then Dos Santos.
I think Brett messed up Dos Santos there because it was a double whammy there.
Frankie is sending these crosses in low and driven.
That's what they need.
It's a second look at it.
It's a real good ball from Frankie. Yeah, I think Dos Santos actually was surprised he came past the keeper as well, I think.
Right, if Dos Santos slides, he bodies that ball into the net, I believe. But
yeah,
like you said, a couple of jerseys flashing in front of him. And tough to track, even for the most veteran of players, of which Dos Santos is one of those. Caceres taken out from behind by Forbes. And New York wanted the quick restart. Well, Caceres has certainly gotten involved. It feels like I'm calling his name every 10 seconds.
Yeah, really.
Caceres has made 7 MLS appearances this year. Let's see why with that pace. 19-year-old from Venezuela. 2 goals in the nation's top league as well this year.
You might see a short pass here for 235, I think. Just switching the field. I'm just thinking that's what. No, it was a short ball. They didn't go for that long ball, and I think the reason being because of the goalkeeper. You know what I mean, Matt? Knowing that Morton's got the height and comes out and wins everything compared to the forwards that Red Bulls have.
Well, the Hounds defended it well. Stroud couldn't make anything happen on the left flank. Lema pulling away from pressure. Bunky Azil forced him to give it up to Kofi. On the far wing here, slid right in for Stroud. Jared Stroud.
Oh.
Colgate Raider. Feeling it right now. Gave to Kofi. Stutter step. Kofi, will he take it?
Somebody's got to step up here and win the ball. That's more
well,
like
there it is, Dos Santos. Well receded, playing way back from his forward spot, putting in a shift. At least kept the Hounds from facing even more attacking pressure. Mertz slid right through and got it away from Mines at least.
Yeah, he lucked out there with that ball. Nobody, no Red Bulls were over there, and there's a nice pass if he can get to it. No.
Kilwine gets in the way of Brett. And Kilwine over for Kyle Zayats.
I put this guy under pressure real quick. See, he's very, very casual with his kicking, and I know if I was a forward, I'd be all over him if any chance I had.
That's a couple of times the Hounds have nearly taken it away from him. Mines on the run. Morton wins the race. And he had the advantage of the better angle. Matt Geico with Paul Child here with you from Highmark Stadium. The Hounds playing their 6th home match of the year. They haven't lost yet. They've only won once. So on the itinerary here to start this homestand, 3 in a row, is 3 points, obviously. But this is the stiffest challenge of the homestand. With Red Bulls 2 in here, having won 3 in a row. And with a win, New York would tie Tampa for the top spot in the East. And Tampa seemingly has been right up there. They have been right up there right from the start.
Well, they won again today, didn't they? 2-1.
They did.
And, they're going to be the team to beat, and we get to play them in a couple of games, I think.
In July, in fact. Buckmaster. Too much on that cross. Caceres will track it down to the corner. Frankie at least knocks it out. I misspoke, actually. A win by New York would keep them 1 point behind Tampa Bay.
How could you get that wrong, Matt?
I don't know. Sometimes the math eludes me. 3 points for a win.
I think you do a great job. I would be lost with it, but...
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it, as always. And here comes a free kick for New York. Steel Army not impressed by the call from referee Spala.
Oh, it's a corner
pardon me,
kick.
Corner kick.
Yeah, give him a corner kick. Same kind of thing. Dangerous.
Even more dangerous, most likely.
Yeah, probably. Again, I think they're going to bend this out. That's why left-footed players taking it, get it away from the keeper.
Lemo looking for Kilwine, the back, heads it into the mix. Kyle Horton makes a point-blank save on Mines.
Yeah, he was...
right place, right time for Kyle Morton.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And he's a big target, too. So...
beautiful cross, first of all. And Kilwine did what he was supposed to do, unmarked. Dos Santos and Brett couldn't get the handle on who was supposed to get out to number 55 in the red. Here are those two now. Dos Santos going up against Scarlett. Kevin Kerr blocked. That was a chance to catch Nuhu by surprise in goal.
Yeah, I haven't seen Kevin do that too much this season. He seems to be more of a playmaking than he is shooting. I mean, he scored some goals, but usually with a header or different things like that. But
yeah, Kerr has, to your point, Paul, 4 goals, 1 assist, but you're right, he's not typically the guy to let fly.
No.
He did once in the home opener, had a beautiful goal, but for the most part, he's been right in there inside the 6 a lot of times.
Yeah, he usually look for somebody else to set up and likes to be the playmaker.
James.
I'm sure he likes to score too, but
He does. Well, I think back to that 2015 season, as here goes Brett colliding with Scarlett, and what'll come of this? Brett is the man still down. The referee Spala's over to check it out.
Yeah, this guy hammered him there.
Jordan Scarlett standing there, waiting perhaps for Brett to get up, but he won't right now. Tim Smith, the athletic trainer, is called into action.
Yeah, watch this.
We'll see what happened exactly here.
The aftermath, yeah.
Basically a stiff arm or a forearm shiver
Should have
to
been
Brett.
a free kick, actually.
I thought it could have easily been a foul there. Well, Brett did a good job, first of all, to pressure Scarlett into turning it over. And, well, Brett is looking at his right shin, so perhaps it was jammed in the turf because the blow came into his upper body, into his back.
Yeah, twisted him kind of round, and maybe you say this is new turf as well, so the cleats are probably grabbing a lot better than they used to do.
That's exactly right. Well, they'll work on Brett beyond the touchline as play continues. Hounds playing short a man at the moment, but now defending here at the half-hour mark, 0-0. Kofi, deflected ball, still comes through to Mines, and a one-touch from Stroud. He puts his hands on his head. He could have done better with that as well. Stroud, a couple of near misses in this opening half.
Yeah, he should have hit that one. He was just right on the top of the D. It was a great location, and it was a nice pass back to the keeper, actually.
Well, Morton will set it up.
And Brett's back.
And there is Nico. Nico had one of the best offensive seasons for a Hound ever. Franchise celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. That's saying something. He had 15 goals and a handful of assists too. Brett trying to get on the end of this one. And there's his old combatant Scarlett to win that ball, and then Nuhu slides to a stop just at the edge of the 18.
Yeah, Scarlett was just enough there, because I thought that ball was going to just skip over his head, and then Brett was in line for a one-touch shot.
This Red Bulls team starting a 3-match road swing. They'll play at Nashville on Wednesday. Adewale under duress. He might get to the second ball too, and he will. Played it off his forehead. Mertz slugging it through, waist tight. Brett can't take it away from Buckmaster. So the Hounds absorb some pressure early, and they've been a little more on the attack here in the last 10 or 15.
Yeah.
This ball played behind James, but nowhere near it was Buckmaster, the right wing back.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking there. There was nobody even in that making a run into that space, and probably would have been wiser just to hold on to it a little bit, or even take the ball forward 10 yards.
Dos Santos had that kick from Morton sail over his head. Cáceres, Lemma, Zayats through to Cáceres again. Back to Zayats trying to knife through, stripped by Dos Santos. Steven Dos Santos, Cape Verde native, but a difficult ball to Greenspan, but he makes the most of it. Oh, a tough one there from Mertz too. Hard to play negative in that spot of the field when the Red Bulls are pressing.
He was lucky he got away with that one there.
Back heel from Dos Santos. Forbes runs off a man, creating some space. That was Lemma. Gave it on the overlap.
Mertz is in a great position there on the top of the D. Nobody being picking him up if he cuts this ball back.
Frankie way too much on that one. And Dos Santos is bent over in frustration. He, like you, Paul, I think sensed an opportunity there. There were some runners open. Mertz, and there were a couple of guys, Brett and Dos Santos, at the 6 as well.
Yeah, he needed to cut that ball back to the penalty spot or top of the D, and Mertz was wide open if he'd have looked up, but It's easy to say that from up here.
That is very much true. Tommy Bonkiazil with a jaunt forward.
Oh.
And he's bumped hard with a hip check. And here comes the referee.
Give him a card.
I think he is going to. No, he's got
his shaving cream.
Got the spray out, right? Exactly, the magic spray. Talking to Ben Mines, who's saying that was my space. I was just claiming it. And that argument will fall flat in the end. So here's a chance for Pittsburgh. Not exactly a corner kick, not in the middle of the pitch, but an opportunity nonetheless.
Yeah, they've got to try and take advantage of this. It's a great time, 33 minutes into the game, and try and get somebody on the end of this cross. And Greenspan's in there, which we know has got some height over most people.
Kenny Forbes will take it. 3 assists on the year. Usually the trigger man when a right boot is needed. Everything's set up in the box. Can the Hounds strike first here? Latter stages first half. Forbes right in. Kerr leaned forward, but I don't think he got a piece of it. Another quality ball, though, from Forbes. Just an inch off or 2. Mertz retrieves.
That's a
James.
nice pass in, too.
Second ball in. Thomas Bonkiazil goes up. And is it off kill line? No. It's last touched by Tommy V. Goal kick for New York. But well constructed by the Hounds.
I see a quick one down the middle. They're off again. And here's
here they go. We are giving you the replay, but here comes New York. Caceres through to Kofi, who makes a run. A rare move up the field. Kofi, Lemma! Oh my, he's going to want that one back.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity there for the Red Bulls, and Lemma just needed to get over that ball. I don't think he was on his favorite foot, actually. I think he's right-footed, and I think he would have liked to have had that ball on his right foot.
There you see a bit of a lean back when he struck it. And the quick restart of play there, the quick goal kick caught the Hounds napping a bit.
Yeah, right down the center of the field, too. You know, nobody, they're all walking back with their backs to the ball, and the play had already been started.
Santos with a good work rate, but that header over the top of Brett. Stroud playing it back. There's Forbes getting in the way of Lemma.
Good job by Forbes there, and Mertz getting it out nice and wide. And there's Frank. This is where he's going to go. You know, try and get something going down that line, and getting in behind these Red Bulls.
Zayat's gotten his way over there at first, and so it's on Morton's boot now. There's Santos running down. Kevin Kerr takes it right away from Alan Giannis.
Good job there. Good switch of play.
Forbes into dangerous territory, steps into the shadows here at Highmark. Well-weighted ball to James, and here comes the corner kick.
No, it hit
no,
James
it went
on the
off
way.
James. My goodness.
I don't know how that happened. He couldn't get out the way of it.
Bad break for Ryan James in Pittsburgh, who had something going.
Is it a free kick, or is it his keeper just put it down there? And
was it possibly offside? Could have been.
Yeah, it must have been.
Has to be if it's not on the 6-yard box line. So a 6th offside against Pittsburgh. We got confirmation. So our spotters at Vista, Gage Tillotson running the show here tonight. I'm Matt Geica with Paul Child. And this is the start of a promising homestand for the Hounds, but a lot of work here to do tonight yet. Here's a takeaway from Forbes. Kennardo Forbes generating possession after possession suddenly. Frankie takes a slow step and now bursts right by. Noah Frankie around Kofi, but the ball had too much on it.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see Frankie do more of. He's really doesn't have any targets, and everybody's marked up in there. So, you know, the fullbacks have got to really make that decision and create this, you know, drawing a player out from the defense to open up a space for an offensive play. Got a free kick, it looks like.
Pittsburgh will come out of this with a chance. Hounds at 3-2-7 on the year. 7 draws in 12 matches. Last time they were at home, They led 2-0 against Ottawa, but squandered that one in, well, very memorable fashion, a wild match, as it turned out.
Had a great opportunity too.
Forbes again, back post, Greenspan won it. Oh, Tommy V wanted to try a bicycle kick, maybe. He was thinking about it, or that was Kerr.
It was
over there.
Kerr, I think it was. This player's just, I can't believe the referee didn't call that. The player wasn't even looking at the ball, he was just pushing the hand player.
Frankie runs himself into the ground. Caceres couldn't get past Adewale. Draws a hand from the crowd. A nice crowd here in Pittsburgh, as you would imagine. Soccer season in full swing.
Yeah, we really got a good crowd tonight, and it should help the Hounds out a little bit more than normal.
Buckmaster in open space. Reese Buckmaster and Scarlett, former Iona Gale. Scarlett over to Killwine. Driven ball, headed square. Adewale mishit it. Can James take care of it? He will.
It's still into.
Buckmaster corrals. 40th minute now. Scarlett over the top for Stroud. It'll check up. Stroud with a little half volley.
We kept it in.
He really did. He got to the end of that. Right to the byline. And Frankie escorts it out for a throw. Noah Frankie, another former college player in this match from Creighton. Frankie to Dos Santos.
Oh, that's a great
has
ball.
A man streaking. Nico
Chip,
Brett.
chip, chip.
He's got Nuhu off his line. Brett!
Yes.
It's in for the goal! Nico Brett does it himself on the break down the sideline. Welcome to the good life. Brett's hot. That's now a 4th goal in his past 4 matches.
I think he was listening to me, Matt. What do you think?
I think so. If you could have piped it down to him somehow, you would have.
I would have. Chip, chip, chip. And he did. He did a great job with that ball. I mean, and especially on this turf, you never know sometimes with getting underneath it and trying to get it over players. And you can see he's looking, and nice little touch. Great goal.
Well, Nuhu was out in his face, basically, and Brett converts his team-leading 5th goal of the season. Getting Nico going would be huge for this Hound squad, both he and Dos Santos, really. And there you see a hug for the ball boy. Gotta love that, too, afterward. A real crowd pleaser. And so the Hounds strike on the counter and make it 1-0. They had their noses in front against New York.
Great time, too. 40 minutes in. Not much overtime, I wouldn't think, so probably just 4 minutes left.
Another open play goal as well. Nico's first 2 of the season and 3 overall have been scored from the penalty kick spot. And of course, he missed one last week at the end of the match. You were alluding to that earlier. The Hounds had a chance, or 2 weeks ago, pardon me, against Ottawa. That was late in the match.
Yeah, we had a great chance to go away in the 90th minute with a penalty kick, and Brett hit it, didn't quite get it where he needed to, and the keeper did a good job and saved it.
Hard collision here, and both players are down. Greenspan and I believe that's Stroud for New York, and they are dazed and trying to find their bearings.
I don't know what. I missed that completely. The ball wasn't even close to it either. They had gone over both of their heads, and I think they were both turning and running for it and collided.
I think that's one of those plays where neither player knew the other was that close.
No.
And will Stroud and Greenspan shake hands? They'll probably enjoy halftime more than most after that. Just a ball over the top. Greenspan saying he was tracking the ball, as you see the conversation there with the referee, Spala, and all parties appear satisfied now.
Referee's kind of warning him, I think, but because the way his reaction, but
I don't know what else he could have done.
No.
Dos Santos couldn't win that ball as Kofi cut it off. Here's Kofi again, but conceding it to Robbie Burt of Pittsburgh. Burt's the former Michigan Wolverine. Right through to Forbes and out wide. James, Mertz. Hounds working on some possession time. Adewale.
Yeah, not in a rush at all, and the way you should be.
Well, Pittsburgh converts the chip ball from Nico Brett. And The Hounds have the start they want. There's a good lead from Dos Santos to Kerr. Couldn't get it through. That was promising if he could have found Frankie there on the flank.
I thought he was going to get on the end of the deflection too, you know, and he didn't quite spin the right way. And if he had, it would have been a great spot for a long-range shot.
Pittsburgh has not lost here at home in 13 consecutive regular season matches. So while they've had a few too many draws for their liking, the bottom line is they've been nearly impossible to beat here in Pittsburgh.
Well, we've always known that with Bob as well. We've always talked about it. It really has a strong defense, and always.
There's another takeaway from Dos Santos. He leads Brett down the left flank this time against Scarlett. The two face off. Scarlett claps his hands. He feels like he won that battle. But it's Forbes for the black-shirted Hounds. Dos Santos, man on there, and he didn't quite get the memo.
No, he didn't. He turned like a train there, actually.
Adewale to Frankie. Final minute of regulation here in this first half. Sees James chest this down.
A lot of space in front of him here.
Forbes starting to get some run with the ball lately. Kenny to Robbie Burt. And the Hounds patient. They've gotten that opening strike, and they can afford to be a little more deliberate here. But of course, the second might be deadly. Just 1 minute of added time. We've heard from the fourth official.
I didn't think there was much extra time at all. Just that one player went down. Actually, it was Brett.
Brett, speaking of him, he just ran into Scarlett. Maybe trying to draw a call there. Looking to put pressure on Rashid Nuhu. Nuhu, the keeper for New York. Got caught well off his line. Well, that was, his intention was to try to force something there, and Brett executed simply on the goal.
Yeah, he was kind of in no man's land, wasn't he, Matt? You know, that's when a keeper's got to make his mind up and either go or he stays, you know, and then puts the pressure on the play, you know, the player with the ball. And really what he did was made up Brett's mind by coming out there and seeing all that space behind him. It was a no-brainer for him.
Maybe the last few touches for New York before half. Lemma and Stroud bumped into Mertz doing well, and Bunky Azil throws his hands in the air. He thought someone should have been there where he was playing that vertical ball. Pittsburgh has to defend again. Caceres trying to create some late first half magic, but there's Tommy V again. Bunky Azil, the second-year Hound, second-year pro. So steady, helping out the back line. And, well, Pittsburgh's going to try for another deep one to Brett, but Scarlett fended it off. Got to be getting close to the end, and there is the double whistle from the referee.
Looks a bit like David and Goliath there, you know.
So the crowd here appreciates the Hounds' first half effort. They bent, but they did not break early, and now they have the edge. They are, well, feeling confident right now with how they've been playing for the last several matches, Paul, and that's another validation there, that opening 45.
No, it's really good the way to see the way they absorbed the first five or 6 minutes, Matt, and then finally got it together, and then the field opened all up and created some chances.
Well, back for much more at halftime. We'll take a look around the league and talk more about this one as we get ready for the second half. Keep it here.
At Moe's, we've always been real Southwest. And we're proud of it. It's in our name, after all. And we've always been real people, using real Southwest flavors, making real Southwest eats. And we've always built everything right on the line, fresh, just for you. Real, fresh Southwest. Welcome to Moe's. Try Moe's new Moho chicken, made with all-natural chicken breast and a refreshing citrus sauce.
All right, that's enough, you two. Don't paint your brother. No, you can't eat the clay. What can I say? Moms just know. I'm Christine Sorensen, and as a mom, I know parents know a lot. But for the few things we don't know, there's Kidsburg, your go-to resource for all the great things in our area for kids and families. Everything from kid-friendly events, creative learning, and help for parents. It's every Wednesday on KDKA TV, emailed to your inbox and online at kidsburg.org.
Okay, we hear you. Due to popular demand, #1 Cochran Nissan's 3-store supergroup just added store number 4.
Introducing #1 Cochran Nissan Cranberry and grand opening offers at all 4 stores. Lease the all-new Altima from just $209 a month or 0 APR for 3 years plus $2,000 customer cash and $1,000 extra for trades at #1 Cochran Nissan now.
Back in Pittsburgh as Riverhounds Soccer Club, feeling good about itself through 45 minutes, surviving some early pressure and forging ahead on an Nico Brett goal. I'm Matt Geico alongside Paul Child, and as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, these two teams both have a good reason to be optimistic about the way recent action has gone. As for New York, though, we'll take a look at their schedule right now. Starting a 3-game road swing, this will be a real challenge here, Paul, because they've only played 4 times out of, 13 here away from home, or 14 away from home.
Yes,
so now the schedule will flip back. They have Nashville at Charleston. So, yeah, you're going to see what the Baby Bulls are made of here.
Well, this is going to be a real... This next 45 minutes is going to be a real opener, because I'm sure that the coach is going to be on their cases and saying, hey, we've got this on the road, we've got to make things happen, and they got 2 more games coming up on the road. So important game for them, and important for the Hounds, obviously, too. You know, they need that win and start creeping back up into the second, the top half of the league.
And Nashville and Charleston coming up for New York, both in playoff position as well. So
sure.
Yeah, the fire will be hot. And as for Pittsburgh, after they get past this one, the Hounds do have an opportunity here. I don't want to read too much into early season standings, but they play Birmingham below them in the standings, Bethlehem even with them. Maybe the Hounds could move ahead here tonight. And then Charlotte, Tampa's obviously at the top of the table, but this next 3 after this one, all teams that they feel like they probably should at least draw, if not beat.
Yeah, get some points out of it at least. I'm sure Bob's thinking of, you look at the teams you're playing against, and Bethlehem, it's always a real hard-fought battle, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
2 steel cities, I suppose you want to call it, but it seems like it's always a battle. I do not know what Birmingham Legion FC are. We haven't seen them. This is their first year, so it's important for them. Especially, I think this game's really important for them to get off on the right track.
As Bob Lilley said this week, you can't have a good homestand if you lose the first one. So I couldn't argue with that logic. I'll put it that way. And, well, Birmingham comes in, by the way. That's the home of Joe Holland, who played for the Hounds last year. That's the only familiar face we might know on that expansion club. Okay, we'll take a look around the league coming up next, and we'll be back to discuss the first half, go over the highlights, give you some stats, and get you ready for the second 45. Until then, enjoy this.
Harvey will try again, and another. Crossing in, it's a goal! Harvey will try for goal again and find the back of the net. The cross keeps the winner! Another brace! Gallegos cuts it back! Gallegos! How about that finish?
And involve them in the process. What does it mean to go full Mingo?
Going full Mingo means... What does it mean to go full Mingo?
You know what's funny is I actually hated that when I first heard it.
We say you never go half Mingo, you always go full Mingo. And that means just whatever the maximum extreme is, you go for it.
You're showing up there, you're passionate, you're wearing your gear, and you're being loud and proud in the brightest, boldest colors possible.
You're willing to be weird, you're willing to be, out there, stand proud.
Means to put all of your energy, your passion, and your love and support into Forward Madison. We're mere caretakers for this team. The team really belongs to Madison and the people of Madison.
I mean, I think everybody, to a certain degree, is interested in what their crest represents of the club they support. But it also means a lot more when the people that are actually in the stands every week are the ones that actually help make that happen.
The players on the field represent them.
From the get-go with our supporters, you can tell there's going to be a special connection. It motivates me every day to show up to training. It's why I play. And to be able to help foster a sense of community that fans and supporters connect with week in and week out, that's special to me. It's something I cherish.
We've got a great facility to be proud of. We've got a team to be proud of. What this club is trying to do is offer a real sense of community to people from all different backgrounds, all different jobs, all different ages and everything. It's to each and every demographic as well. The best thing we did was empower them, deputize them, and not get in their way. Just support them.
Interesting stuff there. We'd love to check out that documentary. Some interesting production going on, and you love to see especially the supporters groups around the league. We love our Steel Army here in town, of course. And, well, seemingly that's the best place to experience a match here at Highmark Stadium. How about some news and notes around the league? I'm Matt Geico alongside Paul Child as we continue to deliver the halftime extravaganza to you here tonight on ESPN+. How about this? We discussed this before the match, you and I, Paul, off the air. Two teams from USL Championship on through to the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open Cup. St. Louis FC prevailing against Cincinnati, and New Mexico taking care of FC Dallas, both just this past week. Midweek matches, and, well, it's just great to see the improving quality of this league, and I think demonstrated there with 2 out of 8 making it all the way through to the quarters.
No, we'd have liked more, but that is a really great achievement, and I think it just shows you how the standard of the league is growing and growing and becoming, we're getting better and better, and the players becoming more and more talented and really setting a presence.
Well, it's difficult for USL Championship squads. MLS teams are typically an international break during this month. The deck is stacked against USL teams for sure. There you see Expansion Club coming to San Diego as well, and make sure to check out that Wednesday night match between El Paso and San Antonio. How about a scoreboard look? Let's do that, shall we? And another night of heavy action in the Eastern Conference. Earlier today, Tampa Bay Rowdies, we mentioned that too. The Rowdies stay in first place in the East. Downing Bethlehem Steel doing the Hounds a favor. Pittsburgh can jump ahead of their PA rivals there.
Yep.
No score, Indy and Atlanta, Charleston and Swope. And Charlotte, that would be a surprise. The Independents have really struggled this year, but they have a lead at Louisville.
Yeah, that's a strange one right there. I mean, Louisville playing at home. Obviously, they're going to come out in the second half and probably try and change that. But be interesting to see how Charlotte keep competing.
We saw Charlotte in here a few weeks back, and well, the Hounds did well against them with 10 men for most of that match. And let's go to the Eastern Conference table before we wrap up the segment. And, well, this was entering today. Keep that in mind. So Bethlehem has tacked on an 8th loss there. And they're still the only team in the top 10, which is the playoff field, with a negative goal differential. So, well, perhaps over a long season, that sort of thing does even out. The Hounds, by the way, are now +6 on the year. So they probably feel like they should be higher than what they are. But, of course, you have to achieve the results. But as you can see, Pittsburgh with just 12 matches coming in, they have games in hand on everybody but St. Louis.
Yeah, I see St. Louis have only had 12 games, and there's a couple of other teams with 13, but we definitely have a few games in hand, and obviously with this streak where we're going to be playing at home, 8 games out of 11 matches, here's a great opportunity for the Hounds to really pick up speed here and get into this top half of the league.
And there you see Red Bulls with a hot start. They had their best start ever, I think, through the middle of April, and they've pretty much continued that. Okay, well, that's that with our look around the USL Championship, or at least the Eastern Conference. We keep it regional here with the Hounds and the Red Bulls going at it. And we'll be back for stats and highlights and prepare for what should be an interesting second 45.
Club, nestled in the Laurel Highlands of southwestern Pennsylvania, is now open to the public. Enjoy 18 holes of championship golf with a new island green and fully stocked pro shop. Our clubhouse features a large ballroom for weddings or private parties, 2 restaurants serving delicious food, a sports bar, 2 state-of-the-art golf simulators, and an outdoor patio with gas fire pit and picturesque view. Pleasant Valley Golf Club, now open to the public. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds will be offering their soccer camps this summer with a refreshed focus and new curriculum. The summer camp program is for players aged 4 to 13 and led by RDA coaches with appearances by professional players throughout the week. Each participant will receive a ball, a Riverhounds SC summer soccer t-shirt, and a ticket for the Riverhounds SC game versus Loudoun United FC Friday, August 23rd. Contact the Academy office at 412-325-7238 or register online at riverhounds.com. The Riverhounds are back at Highmark Stadium next Saturday, June 29th, when the Birmingham Legion FC make their first visit to Pittsburgh for a 7 p.m. match. It's a celebration of Cultures Night, presented by the Pittsburgh Urban Magnet Project. Gates open at 5:30, dollar beers until kickoff. Find out more at riverhounds.com or call 412-865-GOAL.
I should have been a cowboy. Toby Keith and his That's Country Bro Tour 2019. Red Solo Cup. Friday, September 27th, 7:30 at Highmark Stadium with special guests Clay Walker and Gabby Barrett. Toby Keith. Whiskey for my man. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Trusky Entertainment. Toby Keith and his That's Country Bro Tour.
Let's recap the first 45 with Pittsburgh having its nose in front on Nico Brett's 3rd goal in 3 matches. I'm Matt Geica. Paul Child is with me riding shotgun from the press box at Highmark Stadium. Here's what we saw in the opening 45. There weren't any really clear-cut chances early on, Paul, but some half opportunities here. Well, first of all, there's James on one of a few crosses for the Hounds that were just a shade off, so that they could not quite find that quality early on.
No, they needed, that ball needed to come and be driven in hard and low, and I think you kind of get to see a few of those coming up, actually. This one, I think...
Brett's deflected drive off Lima. Well, Red Bulls had a couple of looks, too. Kyle Morton was strong. Here's him heading across off.
Yeah, that's great seeing Morton coming out and winning those. This is a really good ball, driven really hard and low, right into the 6-yard box, and 2 players trying to get there, and a little bit. This was an opportunity too, locked out with the goalkeeper being in the right place at the right time, and a defender doing a good job too, making it difficult for the player to get a good shot off.
Another cross to the back post. Bunky is the only target that time.
Yeah, backing into a player, you know, and never got the call. That was a great opportunity for the Red Bulls right there. I think he was on the wrong foot.
1 of 6 shots for New York in the first half. And, well, here's the only goal. Dos Santos up the field, and Brett with touch, with finesse. You were saying chip, man.
Yeah, I know.
He obliged.
I know.
Magically.
And, kept saying chip, and he must have heard me or something.
58% possession for New York in the first half. There you see the offsides. The Hounds had a few of them with New York keeping that high line on the backside. And, well, 3 times that Kyle Morton had to come up with saves on the Pittsburgh side of things. So Morton making his 3rd consecutive start. And now his... what would that be, I suppose? 4 out of the past 6. He's trying to establish himself here, and nothing that we saw in the first half would really change that. Okay, both teams getting set up.
Yep.
Hounds fan on Twitter actually sent me something, Paul, at halftime. He said, why did the Hounds decide to go against the Sun in the first half? He's right. Traditionally, the Hounds have gone the other way. When they have the opportunity to choose, they have typically attacked to our left during the second half and to our right in the first half. This time, it'll be the opposite.
Yep. I think they might have been the way the toss went.
Yeah,
the other team probably just picked that side of the field and wanted to go that direction, trying to put the Sun into the Hounds' eyes, you know. And
the Sun does come into play, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. Now, as you can see, it's starting to drop, and it's right in actually the whole half of the Red Bulls.
that'll be difficult for the Red Bulls keeper, Nuhu. Rashid Nuhu making his first pro start, and second half has begun with Pittsburgh in front. And typically when Pittsburgh has a lead, and I say this knowing that the last time they had a lead in the second half, they squandered it, but at home they've been able to convert so many of these. Dos Santos lunging forward, and that's a foul called. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop their local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Most of the seats here at Highmark Stadium filled tonight.
Yeah, there's a really good crowd tonight, Matt. And
that's the type of a night that you love to see the Hounds take advantage of and give the fans a reason to come on back. 20th season for the Hounds, but their 7th season here at Highmark Stadium. So almost felt like the franchise rebooted with the establishment of this facility. As Kerr's on the run, and he'll take this throw, or at least he'll get to the ball. Now he wants Noah Frankie to take it so he can get up into the attack.
He was looking for somebody to make a run for him, but there was nobody even looking at him. And oh no, we don't need to create some space here. Frankie got a good little touch there.
Frankie back heel flick from Kerr to no avail, and taken away by Kofi.
Whoop.
A little bit of a softball there. Dos Santos nearly took it right away. Adewale running through against Mines, and Mines called for the foul, the shove, the push.
Yeah, good job there by Toby. I mean, knew he wasn't going to lose the ball, and put himself in the right position to get a free kick out of it.
I can't imagine we'll see much different from New York, even though the Bulls trail. They had their quality opportunities too, so they're probably thinking keep the nose to the grindstone, and hopefully you pull one back here in the second half, if not more. New York averaging more than 2 goals per match, so it's rare to see them even scoreless at the half. Mertz running into some space. Robbie Mertz drags it through again. Mertz gets a third try, and that time he ends up giving it away, taken away by Giannis. And on the run now, it's Ben Mines. Adewale.
Whoa.
Ran through Mines. Hounds lucky there. It's taken on by Buckmaster. Yeah. Toward the sideline, Stroud. Stroud 5 goals on the year. Greenspan ranges to head it out of bounds.
Be interesting to see if the Red Bulls start this half. They're kind of trying to right now, the same way they started the game, where they were really high pressuring, and you can see it's all packed into that one right-hand corner at the moment. All the players on both sides are in that area, and not much room to work.
There you saw from our sideline cam, John Wallenick protesting to the 4th official. Here comes a cross from Giannis. He throws his head back, though. He knows he struck that one too firmly. Bankiazil in the corner. Rarely see him away from the center of the park, and he gave it away in the middle. Yeah, Zayats.
That was
Kofi drags to left foot. Kofi into the box. Heavy touch from Stroud, and the Hounds take it right back. It's Brett. Nico Brett, the goal scorer here tonight. Nearly gave that one away to Buckmaster, and eventually it does go over to New York again.
Yeah, I think James should have just let that go out of bounds. He was touched by a red ball, and he get the throw in, and now instead the Red Bulls are coming back down this left-hand side.
Alan Giannis to Zayats. Kyle Zayats recently got his first couple of pro goals, this time trying to play a setup man, but Morton gets to the end of that bouncing ball.
Yeah, this is where we really should be pushing up and trying to get some shots on goal, especially with the sun being in this Red Bull's end, making it difficult for the goalkeeper to see what's going on.
Forbes and Brett, and now James. James, the Canadian wingback, to the Scotsman Kevin Kerr. Kerr, look at that move to get away from Scarlett. Kerr putting on the Ritz, and he wins a corner kick.
Good job there by Kerr. It's a shame. I think he would have liked to have got in the box there, because the defender was going to come back and try and take him out of it.
Just the second corner of the match for the hometown Hounds.
Here's a highlight from that.
It's a beauty.
Great move. And
little 360 step over.
Defender did well too, though.
He did in recovery. Give credit to Scarlett.
Yeah.
So here it is from Forbes. Forbes looking to get a second. Dos Santos! He scores! scores! Steven Dos Santos, red hot, and he's got a goal to go with his helper, and the Hounds have a 2-0 lead. Dos Santos.
What a great corner kick that is. What a driven hard ball, not too high, where all you've got to do is just redirect it. And you can see the speed of the pass, and after he coming off the head, he's just unstoppable.
Steven Dos Santos shoots to thrill from point blank. The header was perfect into the side netting. And Pittsburgh now with a down payment on a victory tonight. Dos Santos gives the Hounds a 2-0 lead against New York.
Great run here, and just enough to redirect it. And as I said, it was coming in with such force. Goalkeeper couldn't do anything about it. It had already gone past him before he even knew.
Canardo Forbes, the assist. He now ties Ryan James. That's his 4th assist of the year.
Really good for the Hounds here, getting this second half started that way, Matt, too, because it's obviously now the Red Bulls have got to either start really breaking out and creating more opportunities for the Hounds, actually, with counter-attacks.
It's been a while since we saw a set-piece goal like that at home. Pittsburgh got one last week against Atlanta. Here's a look for Caceres, driving it off the back of Vankiazil, who got in the way to spare Kyle Morton, his keeper. Now James pivoting in a dangerous spot, holding off Stroud and Buckmaster at the same time. Well done from Ryan James. Just eat that ball for a moment and then create some space for himself.
Yeah, Dos Santos did really well there too, and I thought he was going to even get to that ball before the Red Bull defender, but just one step too short.
Oh, here's a takeaway from Brett. Now the Hounds can turn it up the pitch again.
3 against 2 here.
Brett with
that's a foul.
And a sliding tackle. No, saying that Kofi got the ball was referee Spala, and New York turns it back to our left.
I saw a lot of black bits come up there.
Sure did. That's a good sign that, well, it was quite an impact.
Yep.
Giannis to Zayats, and setting it up here, Mines. Caceres through ball.
Yeah, nobody on the same page there.
We'll take a second glance. Pittsburgh thought it had something going with Brett.
Yeah, he touched the ball first before Brett went over his leg, so defender did a real good job there.
So the Hounds have 2 in a home match for the 2nd straight time. They drew 2-2 against Ottawa. And, well, really, the script is almost eerily the same here tonight. That's right around the time when Pittsburgh went up 2-0 2 weeks ago.
We don't want to think about that.
No,
Matt,
we don't.
Okay?
Well, that's the point of pushing for a third, right?
Exactly. But last time they were here, when we were up 2-0, referee gave a penalty kick.
That's right.
Which really changed the whole momentum of the game and brought Indy back into it.
Caceres getting it back. Christian Caceres. He's stopped by Morton. Kyle Morton made a kick save.
Boy, that was so easy for him to go through that pile of players, and Morton did a great job getting that big left leg out there and getting a block on that, because that was in the back of the net.
4 saves for Morton. I was about to call goal. I thought it was going to be in. Yeah. But Morton made himself big and got right on top of Caceres there.
Yeah, Bob Lilly getting on his players right here. Mertz again. Look, he just walks right between 2 players, and they're both hesitant. And
it was Greenspan and Vankiazil. Stroud sent it through, so give him full marks on the pass.
Yeah. Fortunate there.
Giannis chested it out into touch. So 2-0 Hounds, but Red Bulls staying potent.
Yeah, they're pressing. They're going to start pressing even more, I'm sure. That's where we've got to be really tight and no silly mistakes, Matt.
It's Brett Dos Santos. That was a handball. It should have been a call from the assistant referee. He was looking right at it, and he somehow missed it. Killwine put his hand on it with Dos Santos breathing down his neck. Interesting. Caceres pulls away from
good
Kerr.
job.
Mertz stepped up, and, well, what's this?
He's giving a free kick from way back here, yeah.
Right.
He gave him an advantage and then called it back. So
must have called a foul on Kerr, I suppose.
Yeah, he did clip him.
Scarlett and Killwine build it up from the back for Red Bulls. The Bulls have the lowest passing accuracy in the league. The Hounds have the second lowest. So I didn't figure to see pretty soccer tonight, but there have been some moments.
No, definitely. There have been some great combinations. I know the Red Bulls like to do these combinations around the top of the box. You know, they're looking for 1, 2, 3, you know, third man run, that kind of thing. Oh.
They're rather ambitious as Frankie spills off of Giannis here inside the touchline, and the fans wanted a call, certainly.
Yeah, I think he stepped on the top of the ball, which is very tough to do.
Well, it's curious for me. Sorry about that, Paul. It's curious for me about the passing accuracy because you see all the skill on the field for New York. Maybe they're just more ambitious than most teams, and they try some things that perhaps other sides might not.
Yeah, but
that's my best guess on that.
No, as you notice, if you notice though, Matt, they're not knocking any long and high balls into the box or up front. It's all on the ground. 6, 10-yard passes, combinations around the top of the box, and here go the Hounds down the left-hand side here.
Forbes. James with Buckmaster in his face. James's cross curves there, and Nuhu mishandled out into touch.
Corner kick. Yeah. Kerr lurking there at the back now. Now he's scored a goal last time he was at home with a header.
That's right. It was a very similar play. It was James to Kerr against Ottawa in the first half 2 weeks ago.
This is one of those floaty balls, though, that a goalkeeper should be picking off, you know. And
he struggled with that ball.
He definitely did. He was in the wrong area.
Bernardo Forbes will swing this one out with the right instep. Bunky Azil couldn't get in front of Alan Giannis, the wingback, but that just sets up another corner. Number 4 now.
Oh, that ball anyways down in the parking lot.
It's in the Station Square.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with the area.
Catching the train.
All right, so take 2 for Forbes and the Hounds from the near side corner flag.
That's a better ball.
Kenny toward the middle. Header save.
Yes, it's in.
Thomas Bunky Azil has made it 3-0. He gets another Genghis Khan on New York. Dos Santos had the first chance. Bunky Azil persistent, sliding down, has put the Hounds up by 3.
Yeah, Dos Santos did a great job there. I thought his was going to be in the net, but the keeper scrambled around on the goal line. I think we're going to get a second look at it, and you're going to see what happens here. But Bunky O'Neill, boom, jumped on it, put it away.
2 goals in 2 matches for him.
Yeah, hit the keeper in the knees, and he couldn't really do much about it. And
well, you said a much better ball that second time from Forbes. He took advantage of the instant replay, if you will. And so Bunky Azil gets his second. Dos Santos, according to my math, Paul, this is his biggest night of the year. 1 goal, 2 assists.
Oh, yeah.
4 points. And a foul there by the goal scorer, Bunky Azil, gives New York a restart.
We just want to see him keep on doing that because he just builds so much confidence and he's going to get better and better with it. And he's doing a great job in that kind of like number 10 position, I would call it, behind the forward, who was Nico Brett, and making some great passes too.
By the way, 8 goals now in the last 2 matches, and we still have more than a half an hour to go in this one for the Hounds to try to add to that total. This will not stay in.
I think we're going to see some more goals.
Well, you have to figure New York's going to keep pressing. So.
Yeah, definitely. They're not going to hold up. But as I said to you earlier, if they keep on pressing, this creates chance after chance for the breakaways and counterattack.
I can say for sure this is the first match of the year in which the Hounds have scored twice off set pieces. 2 corners, 1 from each side. And both taken by the captain, Bernardo Forbes. He gets the assist on the first one, which was just a beauty, a prototypical corner kick type goal by Dos Santos. Second time, it took some extra effort from Bunky Azil.
Yeah.
And this is more the look of what the Hounds were pursuing this season. It has taken them a while to find their attacking rhythm, but well, now they're starting to put the goals in.
Now the chemistry's coming together finally, and you know, I love this position Kerr's playing in too, because Kevin Kerr is a workhorse, and it's taken a load off him, I think, with these younger players with him. And
Mertz on the run, exactly. Yeah, he's still a vital part of this team. Mertz
got a corner out of it. That's a good job.
Deflected by Scarlett.
as a player, you always want to come out with something like that, you know, even though it's not a good cross or whatever, but you get the advantage, and now you got a corner kick again. And we've just been really dangerous on the last corner kick. Confidence has got to be high. They've got to be looking for this again right now. Keeper's got the sun in his eyes as well. You can see he's having trouble with it, and it's great advantage too.
Well, there you go. The sun does come into play, perhaps. Can it be a hat trick of corner kick goals for the Hounds? Greenspan! Oh, he missed it. It should have been 3. Joe Greenspan has 1 goal like that this year, and he probably should have had 2.
I think he should have probably just let it hit his chest, and
Maybe,
he might have
right.
gone in, you know.
He's almost too tall sometimes.
He kind of poked his head at it, and yeah, couldn't have done anything with his chest. The keeper got a hand on it too, but you can see how the keeper's having a real hard time with those in-swinging balls as well.
Part of the story tonight is Rashid Nuhu, his first pro start in goal for New York. But here are the Baby Bulls, still pushing. Caceres has it intercepted by Adewale, but errant feed to Frankie.
Adewale's got to give him a better ball than that. Didn't need to hit it so hard. Just stroke it down on the carpet. Oh.
Giannis, and then Kerr gets up on the back of Jean-Christophe Kofi. So the Bulls will need 3 to pull a point out of Pittsburgh. Last time out, a 1-0 win against Louisville. New York, the highest scoring team in the Eastern Conference. Should keep the Hounds' focus in the final half hour or so. Goal kick.
Yep.
Well done by Adewale.
Yeah, used his big body there and really shielded the player off. And it frustrates a player when you can't get to a ball like that with these players. And also, you know, it's really difficult to build your confidence up when this guy keeps taking the ball away from you and making it difficult for you.
The center back combination for Pittsburgh, Adewale and Greenspan. This is their 3rd season playing together. That helps too. It's Greenspan. Errant touch. Mines running through Vunky Azil nearly, but here's Morton to handle the loose ball.
Morton real comfortable with his feet too. Oh,
trip from behind. Well, the assistant referee had his flag up, but I was pretty sure the center referee was going to make the call, and a yellow card has come out.
Yeah, I thought that was a yellow card. I'm a little bit surprised. Now this, well, the coach is going crazy down here now with his players, so he's getting frustrated, and he's going to be starting getting on players' cases, and that's where the problem comes in when you have such a young team, Matt. With, you know, you're losing a game 3-0, and I would be the same way. Like any coach, you're going to get on your players' cases, but obviously it's got to be the right way, and getting them back into this game.
Kofi, the 21-year-old, picks up the yellow. That's New York's 19th caution of the year. They don't have a red yet.
That's a good ball there for James.
How about that from Forbes to James? Working the 2-man game, and another trip. Another trip. Scarlett, the guilty party.
That was the same as this one down here. It could be a yellow card again, but he's holding off.
I think the reason for the yellow over here is that Frankie was clearly past Kofi, and Kofi just clipped him. You could probably argue that that was still a battle for the ball. I don't know. It's shades of gray, as you know, Paul.
I'm not going to argue with you, Matt.
That's good. I'm glad you aren't. Let's keep it civil in the box.
Oh.
Low ball. I'm not sure that was intentional from James. Maybe trying to sneak one in the front door.
Nah, I don't think so. I think he just totally miskicked it. And now he's wide open again if they could switch the ball. But Frankie is going to just take the ball down the line. And
the Hounds possessing. And, well, this would be their best way to defend in the second half if they can. Oh, my goodness. Mines fell on top of the ball. And now Frankie. Would he take an elbow? I believe he did.
Oh,
and that's from Kofi, and that's a red. A second yellow and a red to Kofi.
But he was calling it against the Hounds in the beginning. He let play go on.
Exactly. It was advantage, and the advantage ends up costing New York.
Yeah,
strangely
really.
enough.
I think he's going to give one of the Hounds maybe not. I thought he was going to give the Hounds a yellow card. I can't
just said they don't have a
remember
red yet this year. There it is. We're going to get a second glance at it.
The Red Bulls 2, number 8, Jean Cafe.
That's a foul right there. And then he grabs his foot. That's a foul. And then that's an elbow right in the face to...
Well, how about the handball, too, for Mines? He fell on top of the ball and grabbed it.
Yeah,
and they still let play continue on.
There was a triple ripple there.
Wow, and the ripple effect of all that is that Kofi will have a seat for the rest of the night in the visitors' locker room.
Yeah.
So 10 men now for Red Bulls 2.
This is where the Hounds have got to not be complacent, Matt, and really take advantage of having that extra player, making the Red Bulls really work to get the ball, keeping possession, and then I'm sure that'll create some opportunities like counter-attacks against them.
It could be an even bigger night offensively. It appears to be heading that way. The Hounds had a couple of 4-goal games here at home last year, one against Toronto, one against Bethlehem Steel. This 3 spot ties their biggest output at home in 2019. Dos Santos having a discussion here with Ben Mines, and there goes Kofi slowly.
Yeah,
off the pitch and down the tunnel.
Has he gone finally? He seemed to be holding up the game.
That was quite the sequence of events, I will say that.
Yeah, it was. It could have been either or, you know, teams getting a free kick. The first one was on Mertz, which should have been a free kick, and then Mertz fell down and grabbed hold of the player's foot, which is a free kick. But you know, then you get an elbow in the face, which is a deliberate. So that's a good. I mean, the referee did the right thing actually, and I'm sure the Red Bull fans don't agree with that, but it was kind of sequence of events that led up to a very bad foul.
Lucas Spala is the man in the middle tonight, wearing the green, and I'm not saying that was an easy sequence to call, but it was a tough break for New York. The whistle didn't sound. I think a lot of referees would have blown it dead, especially after Mines fell on top of the ball. And that felt like the time to perhaps stop the action, but not to be. And then a split second later, Kofi elbows Frankie, and Kofi seemed to claim it was accidental, no malicious intent, but playing on a yellow, I guess you don't get the benefit of the doubt a lot of times.
No, and the replay didn't really show him being delicate, you know.
Not really, no. Frankie would say it was deserved, and of course it all depends on your perspective. And the perspective of Pittsburgh right now is mostly a good one, even though that ball they apparently thought was out and to them for a throw. Kerr at least was protesting in that
I thought it was out too, and it was right below us, but obviously the linesman's a lot closer.
Kyle Zayats. Preston Kilwine.
Red Bull's still going at us. I mean, they're not easing up here and keeping possession. They're trying, obviously got to get back on the board. That would be maybe a game changer if they could get a goal. But that's, James said, really doing a good job of breaking the play up. And Hound's got to get this ball back under control again. And Frankie's back on now because they've been playing with 10 men.
New York has been blanked just once this year, and it was by those Tampa Bay Rowdies down in Tampa last month on May the 18th. Heck, them just scoring one is an upset this year with how they've been pumping the balls into the back net, especially at home too. So, as we mentioned, the tests will continue to come.
I suppose why Frankie there to Brett and back out to Frankie again.
Pittsburgh playing with confidence here.
Oh yeah, they got to. This is what they got to do, Matt. They got to keep the ball, keep possession, make the Red Bulls really work hard, and don't give anything away like that. You know.
James was open, but the ball wasn't quality from Forbes. One of the rare times that he didn't put it on the money. We have our first substitution upcoming. Janos Luba, the German national, will check in. Frankie slips right by an attempted tackle. Noah Frankie in the clear. Square ball to Dos Santos. A little too soft and not in the right spot either.
Yeah, Dos Santos thinking he had nobody around him at all there and really kind of winding up ready for the shot. And player snuck in and took the ball away from him.
I realize that Jordan Dover is going to be the starting right back when he returns from Gold Cup duty for Guyana, but I think Noah Frankie has looked good. He's looked explosive. He really has that quick burst to create space for himself.
Yeah, right there. You could see him. He slipped past the player, and normally a player would go down there, but he kind of like slinked his way through and got into a dangerous position.
I like that verb, slinked. I have to add that one to my repertoire.
Looked a bit like a slinky.
Yeah, a little bit. Kerr on the run, but that ball belongs to Scarlett. And now the keeper, New, who hasn't played the ball with his feet much in this match. There we saw a rare opportunity for him.
I think he's glad now the sun's gone down behind the building, so he's not getting the sun in his eyes now. So that's a plus for him.
Lemma. Oh boy, the Bulls had an opportunity there, but the ball wasn't quality to Mines.
No. And it's funny, sometimes you get a man down and it picks everybody up too, and I'm sure that's what's really happening here. These guys are thinking, boy, we've been winning the last 3 games and now we're down a man and we've got to pick things up, and you can see they've sharpened it up a little bit right now.
Well, there's a tough ball from Cáceres to no one in particular. Dos Santos latches on, but then his ball's off a leg.
Too casual too. You can't get that casualness.
1 goal, 2 assists for Dos Santos. Right there, one of his few off moments. Well, we're feeling pretty predictive here, Paul. We talked about when Dos Santos does well, when he produces, the Hounds win.
Yeah, we did
this season, and there it is.
And it seems that way, and that's a great plus for the Hounds now. And all he's doing now is getting more and more confident, which is really good for the club.
Brett, Dos Santos, and Vanki Azil, your goal scorers tonight. Pittsburgh putting on a display against the second-place team in the East. And it was funny, as Adewale will retrieve this one. I was talking to Bob Lilly this week, and he said, games against teams below you in the standings make him nervous.
I got you, yeah, sure.
He likes the ones when you're punching up, if you will.
When you're playing the best, you become the best, you know.
Maybe, yeah, maybe you rise to it.
And that's what I think. I think it's a good point, actually, you know, because if you're going to be the best, you've got to beat the best, and that's what we're trying to do tonight, and have done a good job so far.
2 more consecutive home matches coming up for Pittsburgh. It's Birmingham next week, and then on the 4th of July, traditional 4th of July game, we'll see the rival Bethlehem Steel come in. Here's that sub for New York. It took a while, but Luba is in for Cáceres. It's actually more of a defensively postured sub here. Luba, the wingback typically, or at least a general defender.
I think the Hounds are going to put in a couple of players too. It looks like Bob Lilly is talking to 2 players down there, and
well, with the score being what it is, why not work in some players at this point?
Definitely.
Mertz.
I'm looking for a switch to the left, yeah.
And you'll get it. James.
James making a great run down there. Good job. Kerr with the ball, which this could be.
Decides to pull it out, this Kevin Kerr.
Yeah, start over again.
It's the forward Velarde getting instructions from Bob Lilly, going over game plan, maybe a schematic there for New York. Bob always has that sheet out for the subs. They're looking at something. So we'll have, in fact, 2 forwards come in for Pittsburgh to replace Brett and Dos Santos. Mark Forrest, the rookie from Lehigh University, will check in and play at home for the first time. Here's Bernardo Forbes.
That's great that Bob's got the opportunity to do this, and Velarde came in the last game, didn't he, and created an own goal, I think it was.
Well, he won the foul that led to the penalty kick for Brett.
Okay, yeah.
In the 90th minute against Ottawa. Christian Velarde, along with Steven Dos Santos, those were the 2 big signings this offseason for the Hounds. Apologies to Ryan James, but the fans' focus is typically on the attackers. Who's going to get the goals for us this year?
Yeah, that's true. That's always been the way, you know. They couldn't do it without good players around them, and as long as they don't ever forget that.
Velarde, 37 goals in his career. And Dos Santos now has 34 after goals in back-to-back matches. 2 guys who know how to get it done.
Yeah.
Dos Santos a bit older than Velarde.
Hounds keeping possession here for a while.
Frankie chasing it. Noah Frankie
coming away with a throw-in.
They'll get the throw very deep. Frankie, a former member of the Orlando City Academy, grew up in Florida. And here come the substitutions. Brett and Dos Santos off. They've done fine work this evening. Steven, well, he's making a bid for a second consecutive USL Championship Player of the Week.
Fans love him too now. That's, again, a great confidence builder for him, and he's obviously appreciates it, and Brett too.
Nico Brett got the goal to start things for the Hounds tonight. Put him in control at the half.
Looks like the Red Bulls are getting some new bodies in there too, and
Forrest drives it on a bounce. Mark Forrest, the two-time League Player of the Year when he was at Lehigh, so he comes in with a great reputation. The Hounds are excited about him for his frame as much as his technical skill. Good in the box is Mark Forrest. James turned this way and that, and eventually, well, he made the decision to let it bounce out. I guess he figured he couldn't get it into play.
Shaking and baking there, actually, and forgot about the ball, and it went out of bounds. He had to take it sometime.
Two-time Offensive Player of the Year, Mark Forrest, in the Patriot League for Lehigh. And Forrest got a touch, but lost control. Stroud slipping through, and then Stroud puts his hands on Forbes. Easy call for referee Spala. Looked like a dance, two-step of some sort. I don't think Forbes was excited about that, though. So the Red Bulls looking like they're going to take one on the chin here tonight, but it's been rare this year. So they'll be able to get right back at it. That's the positive. They'll play at Nashville on Wednesday. Not that it's going to be an easy match, but they'll probably prefer to wash this one out of their mouths.
He's got the free kick there. That was a good call for the referee, I think.
Well, the fouls have picked up for New York in this second half. They've gotten a little more physical. Two more subs for New York. I don't know if they'll be able to get him in here at this stoppage. Yes, they will.
Yeah.
Reese Buckmaster checks out for Edgardo Rito, who's actually on loan from a Venezuelan club. And Sebastian Elney will step into the fray, too. He'll replace the 19-year-old Ben Mines up at the top. Elney, the Floridian, played briefly for the University of Maryland. So yes, new bodies in for both sides. That's 3 subs. That's the max for New York. I'm glad we're past the days when we could have 4 and 5 subs. That got really confusing.
Yeah, it used to be.
I think 3's enough.
Oh, that's
Frankie, good ball in. No, just a little high. It sailed with Forrest making a run.
Forrest made the diagonal run. If he'd have stayed where he was, I think he would have made it, could have timed that right and got on the end of that. And maybe a little flick over the keeper, but didn't happen.
The Hounds try to make it 4 here tonight. It's been an entertaining match. Both teams attacking. Giannis to kill line. Heads upfield with it. And again, the Hounds close out space, but Forbes mishandled, and Elney gets his first touch for New York.
Yeah, the Hounds can't let off, Matt. They got to keep this. They got to keep this intensity, and I'm sure Bob's down there yelling at them to do that, because you tend to think, because we're playing against 10 men, you can take it easy, and it doesn't work that way usually.
If you joined us late, the red card given to Jean-Christophe Kofi as a second yellow, in fact. Forrest and Valesky now working the top of the formation. We'll see how they maneuver in tandem. Valesky ran right past Rito. Hounds trying to improve to 4-2-7 on the year. They're about 10 minutes away, give or take, from that, and get their second win streak of the year. They won 2 in a row in April, but it's been tough since, at least in league play. They won twice in Opening Cup, but it's been a slow climb.
Yeah, it has.
Up the standings in USL Championship competition. Giannis and Lemma. Stroud looking to guide it through and get it to Elney, but again, the Hounds defended.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Hounds get a grip of the ball again and get some possession back. They've kind of lost it a little bit right now, and they're chasing the ball, and they may have it here now and just, there you go. I think he needs to calm it down a little bit and start over. As I said in the beginning, you've got to make the Red Bulls keep, chasing the ball now. You've got an extra man, take advantage of it.
Pittsburgh last week won its 200th all-time match at Atlanta. They're one of just 12 active U.S. clubs with 200 wins. What an accomplishment. Velarde wanted it knotted over the head of Nuhu. Perhaps he saw what Brett pulled off in the first half. But Velarde couldn't guide that one on line. Yeah, Paul, it's really interesting. The Hounds are one of just 3 teams not in the MLS to have 200 wins. It's them, Richmond, and Charleston.
Huh.
Of course, Rochester inactive. The Rhinos would be another squad with 200, but for right now, not playing. The former team of Bob Lilly and a couple of the Hounds. Frankie. The cut inside was ill-advised with Giannis teaming up with Luba here on this near wing to box in Frankie. That really wasn't available to Noah this time. Rito hitting the accelerator. Edgardo Rito, the drop. Zayats, through ball, Greenspan, and now Lima right back into the mix. Greenspan again leads this team in clears, no surprise, and here's Adewale taking care of it for real that time. I'm Matt Geika. Paul Child is with me riding shotgun this evening on ESPN+. You couldn't make it out to Highmark Stadium. Thank you for joining us. Pittsburgh moving from left to right on your device, wearing the black, and Red Bull's in the red, as you might imagine.
Yeah, I think we're going to have another sub in a minute, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't pull Kevin Kerr out and give him a breather.
Well, it's going to be the rookie midfielder Anthony Velarde, so similar position. That would be probably the move for me too. Keep Mertz in there, the youngster, to get some more experience.
Yeah, I figured it would. I mean, makes sense. No need to take a chance on Kerr getting injured late in the game either, and he's a big part of the team. So good move by Bob Lilly.
Next stoppage, we'll see Velarde check in. Well, for the second straight week, the Hounds don't have to grind out a win and be gritting their teeth into the final 10 minutes. 5-0 last week, of course. 3-0 here. Previous to last week, they played 90% of their match time with it either being tied or a 1-goal margin.
Yeah.
So it's been such a close season all the way through. And here comes Kevin Kerr checking out to a fine round of applause, and he returns the favor.
Yes, he does. Did a great job.
But Paul, as a player, this has to be a relief. You don't have to be completely on every detail. You can play with a little more freedom in matches like this.
Yeah, definitely, and you can take chances. And that's what it's about. And then if you take a couple of chances and they work out for you, it also builds your confidence even more, and that's what's important. That's what's nice to see a lot of the younger guys getting in, because if they mess up, then Bob Lilly's not going to get on their case. Well, he probably will.
He probably still will.
He probably, I take that back. He probably still will, but it doesn't mean as much. And obviously, if the game's tied 0-0, you're tied at 1-1, and one mistake changes everything. So this is what's nice to be in that position.
Now the Hounds have reached a point here with just a handful of minutes left that we can talk about the result earned, and we can talk about trying to extend it again next week. Birmingham, the expansion team, coming in, and we discussed opportunity. That opportunity remains after getting what might be considered their most impressive win of the year. It's tough to say. Louisville winning down there 1-0 was also quite outstanding.
Yep.
Ball in for Luba, and he can't score. Just missed it. Couldn't put enough touch on it with Morton scrambling.
Red Bull's making something out of absolutely nothing there, and that's what you don't want to see, But as I say, I think Bob's not going to go crazy about it, but there was an opportunity right there for getting them back on the board.
Well, Pittsburgh wants to string together consecutive shutouts for the first time this year, and
whoops,
that nearly went by the boards. Bouncing ball, and here comes Velarde. Foul just no, not foul. Pardon me. They're letting play go on. Referee Spala now talking to Velarde and helping him up, in fact, saying that that was all on the up and up, apparently. He was bumped into, though, no doubt.
Yeah, well, he was goalkeeper was nowhere near the height he was, so I think he had to give him a little nudge to knock him off balance to stop him getting a real good header on that ball.
I apologize for jumping the gun. I was pretty sure there was going to be a foul call with Velarde getting into the mix. One of the few times this year we've seen the high bouncing ball come into play. With the new turf, the ball doesn't have as much in terms of elevation when you have some long balls up ahead. It bounces and it settles rather quickly compared to recent years on the older surface, which was harder, wasn't quite as
spongy,
as
I guess.
soft. Yeah, spongy, good word too.
Yeah, that older stuff, the ball starts skipping and bouncing weird too.
Mertz has runners. Here comes Velarde. Big save by Nuhu. His best easily tonight in his pro debut.
That was a great save there. He did really well because I thought that was going to go in the back of the net.
So did Velarde. In fact, he's jogging back and wondering what if.
Maybe a little.
Could use a little elevation, I suppose, but that's about it. He didn't stub it. Gave it a good whack, but Nuhu was there with the left palm out. Mertz robbed of an assist there too. That would have been another point for him. I mentioned he has 5 in his last 4 matches as he's become a stalwart in the starting 11. Rito and Forbes come together, and Forbes just let it ride. Goal kick for the Hounds. Fans, you can get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for the Hounds or the Red Bulls too, and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on the Hounds' next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. And of course, the game of the week coming up Wednesday, 8:30. We told you about that at halftime. Velarde will get another chance. No, it's offside as he cuts back and slots it, but the Steel Army celebrates. They didn't hear the whistle. The fans here on our side of the field did.
Yeah, I thought he was just about a yard offside, and then the referee or the linesman did put his flag up after he got the ball. But
well, anyway, on Wednesday, June 26th, 8:30 Eastern Time, Copa Tejas continues. El Paso Locomotive taking on San Antonio FC in the Alamo City. Catch all the action on ESPN News. That's where you can find the game of the week. This week, Kyle Zayats stayed down for a moment, but then he was pulled up by Mark Forrest. We'll see what kind of playing time he can earn this year, the 22-year-old. Coming in after completing his studies at Lehigh, so he didn't get a chance to enjoy a training camp with the Hounds. Rito, wide here to Luba. Stroud. New York looking confident. Rito.
Yeah.
Right on, but Morton again will gobble that up. The rollout to Ryan James on the trot.
Again, always looking for those like 1-2s combinations at the top of the box, the Red Bulls. Even though they're down 3, you know, you'd think somebody would pull the trigger and try and get a shot off when they're on the edge of the box like that. But still want to try and work it in to get inside the box.
Still playing their way.
Yep. It's obviously worked for them in the last 3 games, so, you know, why would you change it? And I'm sure they're going to go back and look at this game a few times and try and figure out what the problem was.
2 matches ago, 3 goals against Atlanta. 3 matches ago, 4 goals against Bethlehem. Guess what? It's Velarde one more time on the deep one. Velarde trying to create some space.
That was a foul as well.
Run into by Killline. Play on. Suddenly, Spala is stingy with the whistle.
Yep.
Maybe just wanting to put a rubber stamp on this one and mail it in as a Hounds victory. Get out of here without any further controversy. I don't know. But Velarde's working his tail off up there at the top of the formation. And while Forbes is looking for him again, Velarde making a run. Zayats yanked down Forbes. That's a yellow. Kyle Zayats picks up a rather cheap yellow card late.
Yeah, I get frustrated at this time in the game. You know, there's probably only a couple of minutes of extra time if there's that. And you want to kind of leave with something, you know, so you try and dig a couple of players that, you know, show with frustration.
Pittsburgh has not won at home since the home opener against Hartford Athletic, so that streak will end tonight. We're looking at 4 minutes of stoppage, we're told, from the fourth official. Still a chance for the Hounds to maybe get one more. Velarde crossing, too strong for Forrest. Rookie to rookie, or at least an attempted rookie to rookie connection.
Stoppage time at the end of the game. A minimum of 4 minutes. Stoppage time at the end of the game.
Seems a lot of time. That I guess it was the sending off that put the extra time on, actually.
That's my best guess. And the substitutions. We've had 3 for each side, so 6 combined. A couple of those came at once. Nevertheless, Velarde, with help from James, wins that ball.
Oh.
No,
he's giving him the free. No, he just stopped it for an injury, didn't he? He didn't give a free kick, surely.
That's Eduardo Rito rolling over. Morton gives him a tap. Rito writhing in pain at the moment. Athletic trainer sprinting out for New York, which is about to see its 3-match win streak come to an end at the hands of the Hounds. The Hounds will extend that unbeaten streak here at home in the regular season to 14.
Tough team to play against the Hounds here, for sure. You know, and I'm sure Bob's really happy about seeing the ball hit in the back of the net in the last couple of games, and that really helps the momentum of the team and the chemistry come along, and makes them feel real good going into. We've got 2 more games at home as well. Really good. Look into those 2 games coming up.
Rito will hop off on one leg. This has been the trend in this all-time series since Red Bulls 2 came into the league, then known as USL, in 2015. They're 1-2-1 here in Pittsburgh, about to be 1-3-1. Meanwhile, the Hounds have never beaten Red Bulls in New Jersey, so there you go. It's been a very home-heavy type of series, and last year it was 3-0 to the Hounds against Red Bulls 2 in June as well. Just about a year ago to the day, in fact. Brett had a pair in that one. Brett had one tonight. Holding up as the game winner right now. Mark Forrest pulls it back.
I'd like to see a switch here. Yeah, that's a good idea. Nobody over this side, and they're still playing, don't forget, with 10 men, so it should be space.
Noah Frankie has been strong tonight. Mertz, Bunky Azil, and Forbes. There you see one of the Gateway Clippers passing in the background, one of the many sights and sounds here at Highmark Stadium. If you have not been here, I saw on the USL Championship website there was a vote going on. Who has the best home atmosphere in the USL? The Hounds were second last I checked to St. Louis, so I know some Hounds fans last night were encouraging folks to go there and stuff the ballot box. Hey, it's hard to argue with the view, Paul. And on a night like tonight, everything was crystal clear and perfect in terms of the weather.
You can't beat it.
And for the home fans, you can't beat the result here. A crowd pleaser, no doubt. And our first real crowd pleaser of the year, where the team could relax in the final 20 minutes a little bit, not too much, but still enough to keep themselves comfortably ahead. Against Hartford, it was a 2-1 game until deep into the second half. Valesky fell, and well, I guess Christian Valesky's not getting a call tonight. We've established that. Scarlett bodied him up.
He better realize that and just be stronger.
I guess so. That must be the solution here.
Oops. He'll give a free kick for that one, though.
Yes, he will. Sandwiching the running Red Bull, Alan Yanis, were a couple of Hounds, and ironically, it's one of the Hounds that comes out of there worse for the wear. It's Robbie Mertz, the Pittsburgher, from the South Hills suburb of Upper St. Clair, played for the University of Michigan, and it's safe to say he has established himself as a starting player here for this club.
Yeah, he puts a lot of work in and works very hard at winning the ball and even in front of goal as well. It's good to see him getting on the scoreboard.
First local product, if we can say that about it. It's been more than a substitute for the Hounds in recent years.
Yeah. You're going to have to go back a ways for that.
Luba, and the flick from Stroud does not connect. Kyle Morton, perhaps fittingly, might get the last touch on the ball here in this match. Morton about to post his, well, hopefully his second clean sheet, barring something unforeseen. He'll bowl it out to James. Bob Billy's got his jacket ready to go, so he's anticipating the final whistle. Jacket. It was 75 degrees today.
I know, he loves
there it is.
Wrapping up in this weather.
Hounds win their second victory in a row, their second clean sheet in a row for the first time this season, and they stay unbeaten at home, moving to 2-0-4 at Highmark Stadium. Paul, a comprehensive performance, and Pittsburgh got a chance to enjoy it here as they wound down the victory.
Oh no, it's a great win and a great crowd tonight too. A lot of fans will be coming back for the next home game, which is next week, and look for the same thing again. I'm thinking that this is a big boost for the Riverhounds, knowing that they've got this home stretch of 8 games in 11 games, 8 games at home in 11 games, and this is only the start of it. So great start.
Are they finding their footing? I guess we'll find out. For right now, we'll review what we just saw here in front of us coming up after the break on ESPN+. Highlights, stats, and a final send-off from the South Side in Pittsburgh.
The Pittsburgh Riverhounds will be offering their soccer camps this summer with a refreshed focus and new curriculum. The summer camp program is for players aged 4 to 13 and led by RDA coaches with appearances by professional players throughout the week. Each participant will receive a ball, a Riverhounds SC summer soccer t-shirt, and a ticket for the Riverhounds SC game versus Loudoun United FC Friday, August 23rd. Contact the Academy office at 412-325-7238 or register online at riverhounds.com.
What do you call it when Western Pennsylvania's largest automotive retailer begins selling the region's most popular brand?
Chevroletary, which also describes our grand opening offers.
Introducing the all-new #1 Cochran Chevrolet, where you'll find a special 2-year lease on a sporty Trax from just $99 a month. The unequaled Equinox as low as $139 a month, plus $1,000 extra for trades at the all-new #1 Cochran Chevrolet.
I'm going to come to that.
Well, how I spent my summer vacation. If you're a Hounds fan, you just watch your team collective victory here for the first time since April. So Pittsburgh, despite being unbeaten at home this season at 2-0-4, it had been a while since they tasted the win. Let's look at the highlights, see how it all came together for the home team against New York Red Bulls 2. Just the one goal in the opening half, but, well, it was a fun one to watch.
Important.
If you're a Hounds fan. First of all, some chances, and, well, there it is. We didn't see the ball from Steven Dos Santos, but Nico Brett in the clear, and look at him just ease up and flick that into the net.
No, that was a great little chip, and the whole time he was running down there, I was telling him, chip it, and he obviously figured it out. But Dos Santos there, just coming up, making a run to the near post, got 3 Red Bulls around him and nobody picking him up, and just gets a deflection and a great cross in, real hard and strong. So that's a chance here.
Duba made it 2. Here's Kyle Morton coming up with his save of the match against Christian Cáceres Jr. Cáceres scored a couple of goals in the MLS this season, but he couldn't get one here in the championship. Morton, with his second clean sheet of the season, made 5 saves. A late look here. James crossing for Kevin Kerr. Knew who mishandled, and that was an important mishandle, Paul, because it led to the corner kick that led to the 3rd goal here.
Definitely, and Dos Santos heading the ball down, hitting the goalkeeper in the knees, ball bobbling back out, and there's Thomas there just waiting to tuck it in.
Tommy V, his 2nd goal in as many matches.
This was
well, here's the crazy sequence that led to the ejection for Jean-Christophe Kofi. You saw the couple of yellow cards he picked up in quick succession there. The elbow was the 2nd one. After New York was given advantage, it turns out being disadvantaged for the Red Bulls because of the elbow and the second yellow. So
Yeah.
New York played the final 30-some minutes down a man.
Referees are not going to take that anymore. It's an elbow to the face. It's automatic. If it wouldn't have been a yellow card, it would have been a red card anyway, but he had two.
Could have been a straight
second
red.
one.
And so there you had it. Cruise to the finish line for once for the Hounds. Back-to-back matches. They have won by a combined score of 8-0. So, Paul, like we just said, just to reiterate, looks like a team on the rise in the Hounds right now.
No, definitely. The chemistry's coming together, and they're doing really, really well, and this is only going to help them even more.
Next time we'll see you, we'll talk to you next week. Birmingham Legion comes into town, the expansion club, take on the Hounds here at Highmark, Saturday at 7. For Paul Child, I'm Matt Geica saying good night.
Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.